Honda ATV Repairs. If you're looking for help fixing your Honda ATV, look no further. Our comprehensive Honda ATV repair guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and maybe show you how to repair your vehicle. Faulty ignition. It's a bummer when you're ready to hit the trails and your ATV won't start up. The first thing you'll assume when the motor won't start is that you have a drained battery. But what if you've recently replaced the battery? Or tested it? Typically with fuel-powered motors, you'll need a spark to get your ATV running. If your ATV motor turns over, but won't start, and the battery is fine, chances are, the issue is with your ignition system. Your first step in troubleshooting this issue is checking out your spark plugs. Look for any gunk or dirt corrosion on each plug. If you have one or more plugs that look severely worn out, then it's time to replace them. You should also use a multimeter to test the plugs out for present sparks. Ideally, you'll want to replace your spark plugs every 100 hours of use. If your spark plugs are fine, they could be another component in your ignition system. This would include your ignition coil or your capacitor discharge ignition CDI. Of course, if these parts were to go bad, you would most likely be experiencing other symptoms such as misfiring. It's also rare that your engine coils and CDI will go bad. But in the event that they do, they'll need to be replaced. Remember to always refer to your owner's manual for the best methods to troubleshoot any electrical issues in your engine. Dirty filters. Your ATV getting covered in mud and debris is inevitable. But if you're not careful, your air filter could get clogged. If you're noticing a rough startup, poor performance, and poor fuel efficiency in your ATV, it could be a sign of a dirty or clogged air filter. Fortunately, this isn't an intense ATV repair. In most cases, you can get away with cleaning your air filter rather than replacing it. But remember, if you let your air filter get clogged up without cleaning or replacing it, it could seriously damage your engine. Engine system. Troubleshooting engine system issues can get pretty complicated. Your ATV's engine is composed of a lot of moving and electrical parts. Symptoms like stalling out or sluggishness can indicate something as simple as a clog somewhere. However, that clog could be in your air filter or your exhaust. It could also be an indicator of clogged fuel lines or overfueling, which can cause the carburetors to flood. There are also a lot of problems that have similar symptoms. If you're not familiar with engines, it's even harder to diagnose the problems. Your best bet would be to get these ATV repairs done by a trusted mechanic. Battery power. If your ATV isn't turning over when the ignition is engaged, or your startup seems to be on the sluggish side, it's a good indicator that your battery may be low. On the plus side, batteries are one of the easiest of all ATV repairs. All you have to do to troubleshoot this issue is to use your multimeter to check the battery voltage. If the output reads below 12 volts, then it's time to recharge the battery. You can recharge your battery by hooking it up to alligator clips and a battery booster. If your battery fails to charge or loses its charge quickly, then it's time to replace the battery completely. Cracked CV boots. The constant velocity CV boots on your ATV protect its axle shaft joints from dirt and debris. Over time, these boots will crack from the wear and tear that comes with off-roading. When your CV boots crack, and they will eventually, all of their lubricating greases will become exposed to outside debris. Anything that gets into your CV boot can severely damage the metal joint inside, leading to more expensive ATV parts and repair. Aside from a grease leak, when your CV boots crack, you'll also notice vibrations from the CV axle. The vibrations come from moisture and debris coming in contact with the metal joint. A more serious symptom is when you hear a clicking noise while turning. This indicates that the joint is completely worn out, and play has developed. To prevent things from getting too far, it's a good idea to check your CV boots before and after each ride consistently. Source: westshoremarine.ca